Thank you for surfing on over to the Cape Ann Cosmos channel, which is linked to our recent online article about underwater photographer Andrew Martinez. Andy has spent thousands of hours underwater. Recently, however, we caught up with him on terra firma at his home in Wenham, Massachusetts. He began by telling us about a high-voltage adventure off the shores of Cape Ann.
You know, what's special about diving at Cape Ann is you never really know what you're going to see. So I found this unusual skate, and although I thought was a skate, and it was buried in the sand. I could see the outline. So even though I knew it was a little bit different, I decided to touch it. It shook off some of the sand, and part of me was saying, wow, this is a weird looking skate. But I was delighted to have such a big skate there in front of me. Anyway, touched it again, and I was kneeling down in front of it, and it shot right up to my face, and it was like a couple inches away from my mask, and then settled down. So then I did it a few more times, and each time it did the same thing, so I got some nice shots of it shooting up out of the sand. Then the next day I looked up what this animal could be and found out that it was in fact a torpedo ray. Another name for it is an electric ray, and it can discharge and regularly discharges 220 volts. So that was the last time I ever did that. I got off kind of lucky. And you also see from time to time, if you're lucky, a goosefish. Sometimes it's called a monkfish. And it's a weird-looking fish. It looks as if it's a compressed frog, but it has a gigantic mouth with a lot of very small teeth. And what it does, it lies very flat on the sand. It actually has a lure that it extends from just behind its eyes, and it hangs out in front of its mouth to attract passing fish. So that when the fish show any interest in that, then it just leaps up to inhale the fish. But unusual thing about this monkfish or goosefish is that it actually eats birds. So that's why it gets the name goosefish, because it certainly doesn't look like a goose. If it sees swimming above it, let's say any kind of a duck, then it has sort of like legs that allow it to push up. So it pushes itself up, opens its mouth, and inhales the duck. One animal, one goosefish, it had 13 whole ducks inside.
It's not just big weird fish Andy finds fascinating. He spends much of his underwater bottom time looking for small, colorful creatures many people have never seen.
And there's also little creatures called nudibranchs. And nudibranch is a simplest description. It's a snail without a shell. Nudibranchs are basically, if you want to call them in general terms, they're like sea slugs. The ones in the garden are not at all pretty. But underwater, they are like a painter's palette. Red and orange, yellow, combinations of all of those colors, and they're really spectacular.
And now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy more of Andy's photographic artwork from Cape Ann's undersea realm. For the Cape Ann Cosmos Science section, I'm Paul Erickson.